swinging a drive, right field and deep. Back goes Aquino. It's got a chance. Gone. Get out the tape measure. Long gone.
Fly the W!
Cubs fans, it's time to fly the W with Dustin Rhodes and Paul Crawley-Jean.
You are listening to the Fly the W podcast, and I am happy to have on my old pal, the bard of the bleachers, Danny Rocket. Danny, how you doing, buddy?
I got to tell you, Crawley, that entrance music that you got going on is so powerful. Like, I am pumped up. Like, I feel like it's like Sunday Night Football here with Crawley and the boys. You know, I mean, I'm pumped. Let me tell you.
A little John Williams action, but I had to get you on because, of course, this is the week of Cubs caroling. You and I kind of went through it the other day, going back over the years, and you're going to sing us some songs. And I'm excited about that, especially I assume there's going to be a lot of songs about all the great players that the Cubs have signed, like something for Kyle Schwarber's return or, something for the polar bear, right? A lot of good songs that we can sing to cheer up Cub fans.
You'd be surprised this year. You're going to be surprised this year, Crawley, because I did take it into account that it was the 10-year anniversary of the 16 team. So I did want to celebrate with these songs a little bit about that great year. So I do have some songs about that. But there's plenty of other things to make fun of the Cubs about. Like, nothing is going unexpectedly for me this offseason. You know, it's like everybody's like, we're going to get this guy. We're going to get that way. I'm like, we're not getting anybody. Just hold your horses and be happy with what you got. Because that's what we got.
And you get the tweets of, why don't you just let Jet do it? It's December. Da, da, da. It's like, oh, okay. Yes, I know. To me, and I've been on record, and I probably sound like a broken record to some of the listeners here, but to me, last year was the year that I felt like they should have gone all in. Once they got Tucker, they should have got Bregman. They should have made that trade for Jesus Luzardo. I mean, that to me was, you knew you had 1 year of Kyle Tucker, and you knew there was no way they're going to pay him $400 million. So I felt like you had this small window. It wasn't going to be that competitive window that we talked about, in 2015, 16, 17, 18, et cetera. That it wasn't going to be that. I thought the time to do it was last year, and there was a lot of opportunity to get the right pieces, and they came up short, and then obviously they came up short in the postseason. And I it's weird. I don't know if you've seen this. They have like these way too early, like prediction meters of like power rankings. You know what I mean? And they still got the Cubs in front of the Brewers. And I'm like, how are the Cubs better?
Well, computers and nerds and stuff, they're going to crunch their little numbers and they'll see it some way. But we know it's not going to go like that because we actually watched this game. And, even this year, we've been asking for him to let the kids play for I don't know how long. Kid after kid has come up and they don't let him. He hits a grand slam, they bench him. Like, we've been watching this for a few years now. Maybe next year is the year that you're going to see more Ballesteros. You're going to see your Owen Casey up, and they'll let the kids give a chance to see what you got before the 2027 year is bagged.
It'll be interesting. And again, we'll see what happens at CubsCon, but very much like you, I'm assuming that they're going to be just trying to let us flow with the old nostalgia of bringing the band back together, the 2016 guys. And it ought to be fun, but I truly do look forward to Cubs caroling because Danny, you and I are a rare breed that just loves baseball. And when it's, we got some winter league stuff going, but it's just kind of like a period where we don't get to see the friends that we get to see for 81 games or 162 games of a season, or 81 home games. But just all the people that we don't get to see over the off season kind of just come together. This to me is like the beginning, like the prequel to CubsCon, and then you got spring training and then opening day. So it truly is fun. This whole event started 2017. We were looking up, and this is when, for people that don't remember, Gallagher Way used to be called the Park at Wrigley. It didn't have sponsorship at the time. It was called the Park at Wrigley. And this was your idea to get people together and
ice skating. That's the year we went ice skating. Yeah.
Yeah.
Some of us went ice skating. Some of us went ice falling.
Yeah, well, so if you go to, my Lucky Doors is my favorite place, and they have this whiskey apple cidery drink that's really warm. And after a few of those, I was slipping and falling, and I think out of concern, we decided we weren't going to do ice skating anymore. We were going to do something different, and that's where Cubs caroling comes in 2018 was the first year of Cubs caroling, and it was about like 15, 20 of us, right?
Yeah,
Like,
and it's fluctuated over the years, been a different crew every single year. Obviously, it's a busy time of year for everybody. And so, like, you're like, hey, what are you doing on Saturday during the holiday season? People have things to do. But so every year it's been a different group of people. It's always been a fun night, if not a little raucous at times, because but this year we got to go do it a little bit earlier. We're doing it 4:00 because the Bears, they're playing, and everybody's gonna want to watch the Green Bay Packers and the Bears, even though I know you and I don't give a rat's.
well, here's the thing is that all of a sudden I texted you. You were in Mexico, and I take a look, and all of a sudden I get a text from a buddy of mine who's a big Bears fan. They flexed the game. The game was originally supposed to be played on Sunday, and they moved it to Saturday night. And for those that have never been Cubs caroling, we go to the bar. I have a megaphone, and we all go marching down the street, and we ask the bar if they can turn everything down, the radio and the TV, the music and the TV and stuff. And we were just like, there's no way they're going to do that for during a Bears Packers game. Yeah. Are they going to turn down the Bears game for a bunch of weird Cubs carolers coming in with Cubby sweaters and all that fun stuff?
Because they're good this year, so people are more engaged and stuff. If they were under 500, I think we could probably have done it. But even so, why get in the way of it? And either way, it's going to be fun. We're going to meet at Output Wrigleyville. Don't get it mixed up with the other Output. There is two. This one's just a block north of Wrigley on Clark. Output Lounge, great wings. We hang out there at 4:00. We're going to sing through the entire set, and then we'll go off into the Wrigley night for a couple hours. Oh, there's us. That's at Output.
That's Output. That's us practicing. So if you're nervous, we do have hymnals that will be printed out if you don't know any of the songs. And once we go, we'll run through it. Danny will kind of explain, how is it going to go, and this is going to be kind of the way we're going to do it, and that way we can kind of get some practice before getting into the big crowds.
And a drink.
Grab a drink or two. But that's going to start at 4:00 before we actually start moving. Is just kind of like a meet and greet, get together, have some drinks, and run through some songs. What's one song that you think is going to be a banger coming through this year?
Well, I got a bunch of new ones this year. I always reinvent old ones and do a couple new ones and do a good rotation. But I thought the funniest thing that happened last year happened right at the end of the Cubs season and right towards the end of the Brewers season, that's when they took not even our L, but a bad imitation L, wrong color and everything. But they flew an L on their own field, totally screwed up. Then they got swept by the Dodgers, if you recall. And we all know why, because they tempted fate with that moment. So here is the Brewers flew the L to the tune of the first Noel. They flew the L after winning the game. Brewers beat the poor Cubbies and stole our flag. They'd celebrate with an L on their fields. Then the Dodgers would sweep them. Their fate was sealed. The L, the L, the L, the L. The Brewers season went to hell.
Excellent. And for those of you concerned right now, don't be. Danny is a professional singer. There will be plenty of people like me that have no singing talent, and you will be lost in the shuffle. So everyone is not going to be professional singers. But I got to tell you, Danny, there's certain songs that like that one, that have to get played in front of the Wrigley tree.
Yeah, that is the highlight when we sing at the tree. It looks good this year too. They didn't take it down early and screw us.
Right. So this is the tree, and we always what we'll usually do is we'll head Output, and then we start heading south on Clark, and we'll hit a couple of the bars. We'll go to Bernie's, we'll go to Lucky Doors, and then from there we do 3 or 4 songs in front of the Wrigley tree, and it really is beautiful. And for people that don't remember, this is actually, we were in front of the tree, and this is when the Cubs were hoping to get Carlos Correa. and you did a song to Gloria, In Excess Deo, and all
Oh,
that. And,
I got a new one to that song this year.
ooh, I invited Wayne and Kathleen Messmer. I went and saw their show at Hey Nani. And so I'm really hoping, because that was great when that was Almora. But the funny thing is, we were at this tree right here, and Ryan McGuffey, who's made it huge on Cap's new thing, the recap, he was there unrelated to us being there. He was just shooting stuff. This is when I think he was with NBC Sports. And he tweeted it, and it got caught by Fox Sports, and eventually Carlos Correa retweeted it.
Yeah.
And so that was just an absolute, that was a Cubs caroling miracle.
Yeah, it was definitely the biggest we ever made it. I forget which year. Was that 2019 or was it? No, it was in the 2021. I don't know. It all blurs together at this point in my life, but yeah, it was, and that was a big crowd. It's so much fun also to like sing with other people, even if you're not normally a singer. Like just going out there in a group and lifting your voices, like it's just a joyous act ultimately. And people love it. Like you would think people would look at us like we have 9 heads, but half the time they're like, "Can we come with you guys?" And we're like, "Yeah, sure." And everybody comes. And that's the other thing is like, that's what I love about this. It's like, it is a welcoming sort of event, like, because anybody could get up and, sing a song with us. It's just like, it doesn't feel like something that you have to like know too much, except for maybe how to read.
And there has been times where we've literally picked up people along the way, and by the end, our group's grown by 15, 20 people.
Yeah.
And so
You
people
pick them up at the bars. Yeah.
Yeah, they see it's a fun time. They see we're a fun group. This is a picture from last year before we went out there. You could see Bleacher Jeff. You could see Captain Cubbo. You could see Bill Sugas and Mai Tai Guy. And this is, this is basically a lot of great ranters, a lot of great Cub fans that just have a lot of fun. And to me, there's Bernie. You just see a great group of people just in this photo, and it's a lot of fun. And like you said, when we go to the bars, people like all of a sudden it's funny because at first they're like, who the hell are these guys? And then once we get to like the second song, every phone is out, like literally recording, and you're just kind of laughing and everybody's having a good time. What's a song that you think that is going to make some people laugh? Because obviously the first Noel's kind of like a slower song.
Yeah.
What's a song that you think that Javier Assad's always a classic one that for the last couple of years, but what's one you think that's going to get like kind of people fired up?
Well, I did a Joy to the World parody about the Padres finally avenging 1984, because I know that's big for you and me, people of our generation. That was like our first big baseball heartbreak. And so if anything happened, we didn't get past the Brewers, but to get past the Padres, it did feel a certain way for those of us that were there. So I wrote this one. It goes, "Joy to the world, the Padres lost, avenging 84. For vanquishing Steve Garvey, we had a champagne party. Keller almost blew the game, but Kittredge got the save. And Cub fans will never, ever do the wave."
Oh, that is right up my alley. That's right in my wheelhouse, man.
That's what I figured. That's why I did it for you.
That speaks to me 100%. And so, yeah, this is a picture of us. I want to say this is Bernie's. This looks like Bernie's to me right here.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
And when we go to Bernie's, like you could just see all of us there. There's the Boomer singing right there with all his heart. There's the bullhorn, the mega horn. I got to make sure the batteries are working good on that. But fun to hit there, and everybody just kind of singing and having a good time. And I think that we hit the bars, and then we always end up at Nisei Lounge. And for a lot of people, that for us, that's kind of like home base, it's that's where we end up. That's where we finish. That's where we do the grand finale. And we all kind of just laugh, and the Malort shots start coming out. And that is where the fun is, now we can just relax a little bit because the performance is over. But I truly think it's a lot of fun. And I think if you've never been there, I think that if you just sit there and just like, I don't know anybody, it's not something you got to know anybody. Just sit there and show up and just be like, hey, I want to have fun and drink some beers.
People came alone. People came alone before, and they were like, I just came to meet people. So it's that kind of thing. Absolutely. And, it's what I love about the finally ending up at Nisei Lounges. I quit drinking a few years back, except for every now and again, I will do a shot of Malort at an event such as this, And so every year I'm definitely doing the candy cane peppermint Malort. And I was describing that to somebody the other day, and they go, "Oh, like California sober, you're Chicago sober. You just drink Malort." I'm like, hey, "That's fair. I should maybe Malort and beef sandwiches. I'm Chicago sober."
Right. And it is fun. And I think that, I'm hoping that we, get to see more people and just, like I said, I just miss everybody when it comes to this time of the year. And that's kind of sometimes part of the holidays too. You know what I mean? It's like, it's joyous, but also kind of, that feeling of just missing people and wanting to be around friends and family. And this is kind of like our Cubs family. And so just everybody getting there. And again, there are people that I only see once a year at Cubs caroling. There literally is people that I only see once a year at Cubs caroling, and it's just very joyous. And I think it's fun. And if you've never seen or if you've never been to Wrigleyville in the wintertime, it's just something else now. It's just totally different. It is just so lit up. All the bars have different pop-ups there. It is just fun. And it is a beautiful sight. Great pictures to take. I can't recommend it enough. And when you're sitting there singing songs together and laughing about the Cubs, I mean, what more can you ask for?
Good weather, which it seems like we're going to get. And because like today it felt darn near balmy because it got up into the 40s because it's been near zero. And it looks like that's going to continue at least on Saturday. So I haven't looked recently, but the last time you told me what the weather was going to be, it looked good. So I'm going with that.
Yeah, it's looking good. It should be exciting. And again, for people that want to go, we're going to be at Output from 4 till about 4:45-ish, roughly 5, right around there. We'll start kind of moving. And again, we'll have hymnals for everybody. We always print out plenty of extras. And so, we're going to bring them along and there's going to be a lot of fun. And there's going to be a lot of songs. Give us one more song, Danny, that you think that is going to wow the audiences here in the Wrigleyville bars.
Well, we have a Chicago Pope, and even though he's a Sox fan, I did want to, make mention of him this year because he's in the news. I mean, it's
Da
what
Pope.
a thing. Da Pope. So I did Let It Snow to Pope Leo. So it goes, the Pope is a South Sider whose White Sox hat's a miter, a Catholic from Chicago, Pope Leo, Pope Leo, Pope Leo. He listens to all your prayers and he is a giant Bears fan. Imports Malort to Rome. Pope Leo, Pope Leo, Pope Leo. They say he's infallible, but I don't think that it's true. He likes the Sox, Bears, and Bulls, but he doesn't bleed cubby blue. He's got a straight line to Jesus, loves tavern style and deep dish, best Chicagoan since Capone. Pope Leo, Pope Leo, Pope Leo.
Holy cow, dude. You got some winners there, man. Now I'm really looking forward to Saturday night so that we can get this party started. Now I'm ready, dude. You got me fired up. And of course, no Christmas party is complete without the postcard of the ranters in front of the famous marquee at Clark and Addison, and an advertisement for Traffic Tech, which we're not getting paid for, the global supply chain experts. But just fun, Danny, and thank you so much for one, coming on, but two, creating songs that even sometimes as a Cub fan it can be frustrating, but I feel like Cub fans have always kind of smiled through the pain, and that's what makes us a little bit different, makes us a little bit weird, but it is going to be fun. I can't tell people enough to come out here, try this, make some friends, meet some new people. And the people that are there, a lot of the people that are there are at Wrigley all the time. And once you kind of, make friends with it, next time you go to Wrigley and you see us there, we can laugh and talk about what crazy thing happened at this year's Cub caroling event.
Yeah, well, I don't want to say too much with my knowing laughter, but there's been some years. It's always a time, like when you mix alcohol and Cubs carols and a bunch of Cub fans, like we can get messy. It's a good time, but we're getting older year after year, so I trust us more now.
Yeah, we're probably a little bit smarter. But Danny, tell our listeners where they can follow you, where they can get more information about Cubs caroling, and where they can listen to you talk about the North Siders.
Well, we got a show called The Bleacher Bunch and the Sun Ranto Show that's in like various states of production at all times. So you can find us there, but the Bleacher Bunch is the podcast, so you can check us out there. I also tweet under that's moniker.
It'll be a lot of fun, Danny, and I appreciate you jumping on, and we're going to have some fun, my friend.
Hell yeah. Merry Christmas. Ho, ho, ho.
It's all over.